everybody. Welcome back to OSL Season 6. This is the final game of tonight, Sunday evening. It's so glad to be back here with you all today with personally, some of my favourite sets. I know I'm biased, but we've got Dream Player versus Kratos here for the final game of tonight, starting off with Kratos' pick of the Dredge on Midwich Elementary, and then up next we will have a Slasher set on Coal Tower 1, which is Dream Player's pick, and if push comes to shove, we will be returning once more to the Suffocation Pit for a Ghoul set. But loading in here on the Dredge, we do have a very peculiar build. We have Surge, Eruption, Ruin, Game of Foot, which is a super interesting pick for Dredge. But I'm curious to see how that'll play out. I don't know what his Allens are due to the bug, but I'm going to take a wild guess and I'm going to assume it's like, what the fuck? Caffeine tablets? Okay, Automarian Rotting makes sense. I don't know why we have caffeine tablets, but that's a choice. Really interesting, peculiar build here from Oscillator on Team Kratos, but so far, Yuan, I think that's how you pronounce it, doing the play here, and here we have the Game of Foot value coming in, 7% haste, able to catch up to Yuan. This might actually be the difference maker between making this part. We have a little bit of haste, we can start the lunge right at the end. We get the down! That is a difference maker of a perk, and that will mean we get that down nice and early. Good bit of surge value there. Our Ruin is still active, so those gens will be passively regressing. Any ones that have stopped working, we heard gen being locked in the background. Eruption as our backup when Ruin does get cleansed, but so far, a banger start here for Oscillator. And, sorry for a bit of a ranting, I didn't get to say hello to my co-caster, Ainz. I've never cast with you. It's good to be here. What do you think about the set so far, man?
It's good to meet you as well, Smunk, so I'm very intrigued. With how the set is, I'm intrigued for a Dredge set, including with Slasher. I know those two are your absolute favourite killers, so I know you're excited to be casting those two. But Dredge on Midwich, one of my favourite killers too, especially with one of my personal teammates who loves this killer, especially the Surge and Ruin. My teammate would be cheering to see this build, but as you were saying before, Game of Foot, interesting perk, same with the add-ons there. Two types of add-ons I typically would never see on Dredge, which caffeine tablets, I'm not sure what it does, so
It,
bit of hit and miss.
yeah, when you charge your power, all the lockers are yellow, so you can tell what's locked. It's very interesting, but continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all good. They're very interesting add-ons for Dredge. It's like, normally you see like Malfinker's Skull, Broken Doll, just try to build that Nightfall quicker, have extra like 20 seconds of Nightfall duration, but the Surge and Ruin, it's a lovely combo. I see it all the time when I verse Dredge, and it loves to bite me in the ass here, Slunk, but I'm intrigued for this set. Personally, I say for Dredge, I reckon depending on how the build goes, see how Game of Foot works, like this could be a nice stage, but as you can see, as we were talking, we already have two gens popped for one hook stage, so far for this Dredge, it's not looking too shabby so far. A bit of a slow start for him, but these survivors are cranking the motors, and we're trying to play for the timeout on Kate over here, rotating on towards upstairs 1 and 2, dropping a firecracker, just barely missing it. Greeting the pallet, swings through the pallet, gets a hit through the pallet, down on top 2. Very unfortunate here, Smunk. So far, how do you think the killer's going?
Not a bad start for the killer and the survivor. It's quite even at the moment. We popped 2 gens, but we also didn't bring in Corrupt, so we're able to get on those motors basically immediately. We see in the background that Fang Yang is on what I assume is going to be Ruin. We also have, we see the Killer Instinct. Unfortunately, we could have maybe interrupted that, but I think we were more concerned about our generators. Ruin gone out of the trial now, and now we're just committed to a chase onto our Claudette here. I'm not going to pronounce the name because I don't want to mispronounce it. My apologies. I guess we just kind of need to break this pallet. But no, we're just going to be teleporting away. It's really nice this backhook here because it does mean that you're able to teleport to those lockers without incurring any sort of penalty because it's just out of that range to not be blocked by the anti-camp. But caffeine tablets, very curious choice here to be able to see what lockers are locked, and it does give you a little bit of information at the start of the game and sort of like a pseudo-lethal where you can see those locked lockers at the start of the game and you know, okay, this is where the survivors have been, this is where they are, and it gives you sort of an idea of where they've appeared at the start of the game because, of course, right off rip, you want to start locking lockers and make sure the Dredge can't get to your gens as easily, and here we see Oscillator as well, just spamming just outside of that anti-camp range, his knife will teleport just to get a bit of Killer Instinct on someone that might be coming in for the save, and we do have Dwight here, Fang Yan, going for the save, Surge being activated in the background too, 15 seconds of BT on your one, he needs to go for quite a runner here, V4 and Xiao Dao, I'm going to say Xiao Dao, apologies if that's incorrect. Likely just going to be cranking motors in the background, although one of them will need to rotate to go for the pickup onto Fang Yan. We see another gen pop in the background, so this death will come through at about 2 generators left. We have this God Path still available to us, but with that tag coming in at such an awkward angle, but it didn't spawn! It's, oh no! Midwich RNG changes that they recently did and not been too kind to this set, especially the survivors. Oftentimes you run to these paths and you assume, yep, alright, I know it's here, but not always, not anymore. Sometimes they just won't spawn in favor of other things, but we do greed the gen. We didn't go for the pickup of the Feng Yang, so now we're only got one gen left, but one gamer out the trial. A tag onto V4 coming through. I dare say Xiao Dao will be going for a pickup onto Feng Yang at any moment now, and Oscillator, like I clued in on that, might teleport back over to where his slug was in the library, but no, we seem to be a bit indecisive here, and but Claude just now going for the pickup onto Feng Yang. We're desperately trying to teleport around. I think we should be right on top of the pickup here, and there it is. If we're able to get another injury onto Xiao Dao, that will be a great boon for generating a little bit of Nightfall here. And Automarian Riding does come in handy. It is a item that I like to run now on Dredge, and that Field Recorder is banned, as it just lowers your cooldown for your teleport and your remnant ability. So it's a very nice, comfortable add-on to run, and it makes playing Dredge just so much better. And I know a lot of hardcore Dredge mains do want that a little bit basic here, but just dropping the chase into Xiao Dao now that we have everyone injured on the board. Malthinker's Skull, or the effects of it, where the more people that are injured, the faster Nightfall generates, was partially made base kit quite some time ago when Dredge got a lot of, very nice, comfortable base kit buffs, but doesn't look like there's a lot of gen progress on the map. It seems that everyone's grouped together and is going for a reset, although it is Nightfall, so at any moment now we should be able to locate that with a bit of Killer Instinct. And I think we might have found the reset coming through here from V4 and Feng Yan, and we should be able to interrupt this nice and comfortably. Ainz, what do we think? Are we going to be able to pull it back here and get a 4K1 on the killer end, or will our Survivor team just run away with the whole set?
It's a bit interesting, a bit early to tell. As we see, we're going to catch out over at 5, but as you were saying before, Slug, the mid-witch update taking away the pallet spawns. It's happened in my team so many times. We'll be expecting that 5 pallet there. Next thing, no, pallet's gone. It's just very unfortunate. But I say it's a 50-50 chance right now. Like, for the killer, I reckon he can still perform. Before the survivor over here at top 5, trying to play the top 5 pallet. Oh, drops the pallet, but swings through, but just misses it shortly of it. But it's like how this game goes. We get the finesse value and the life, getting us out of 5. Goes for the down hook right under where Dredge is. Just playing for the tunnel out now. We have 2 injured survivors and Malthinker's Skull coming in clutch, just helping to build that charge of Nightfall. And we're trying to go for the tunnel out here on Feng Yan, which so far I feel like the killer can bring it to a 4K1. Like, so far, it looks like the survivors don't really have a lot of gen prog. We just gotta hope that we can get the surge value we need, because we have no ruin. We still have eruption, which running surge and eruption together is a bit. I feel like, in my personal opinion, it's a bit of a weird combo to see. Like, I see the point of eruption, but it's like, if you gotta waste your time kicking in gens when you already have surge, it's like, it's a bit of 50-50 gaming moment here. But as you see, we're taking chase back down the bot side. We're going to rotate up towards top 5. See someone working the gen. No, it was. Ooh, not sure what that was. Ooh, the DC. Not sure what that was there. Could potentially be a lag out here, but unfortunately with that DC, with how far into the game we are, the hook stages it's got to count as all stages for our killer here. So right now they're having to play for the 2v1 here, and they're both injured. So with Malthinkers, that's got to be away, bringing towards Nightfall even quicker. We catch out our survivor here over up mid. Oh, this is not looking too good for them right now, Smunk.
Not at all, but we do commit to the chase here onto Xiao Dao, and this is, I think I survived with the most chase. This is our obsession, so if we do kick this power, we will get that value from Game of Football, but where will be no need, and Surge and Eruption making quick work of all those generators. We're having a quick look around, seeing if we can catch any auras out from Feng Yan on any gens he might have been doing, but thankfully no aura being sold. But unfortunately, that DC from V4, this could have been ours. This could have at least been every gen popped, because they were doing the right thing there. They were splitting 2 different generators that were about 50% progress, and it was looking pretty good, all things considered, for our survivors here. But unfortunately, V4, especially considering he was fresh hook and healthy, that DC is such a kick in the nuts, and it's kind of just thrown a massive spanner in the works here for Dream Player. But 4K1 is a pretty average result on Dread, so I dare say it's super tieable if it does come to a 4K1, but you never know. They could just somehow, by some grim miracle, pop a final gen here. Worth noting as well, the killer doesn't have Malthinker's Skull. They've got caffeine tablets and Automarian Riding, but of course, the base kit effect of the injured survivors that was like partially included from Malthinker's Skull into his base kit is going to make that Nightfall happen very fast with all these injured survivors. Worth noting as well, no sloppy on our Dredge here, so the resets would be, fairly easy to get, although a good chunk of the healing perks have been target banned on Dredge, so just to make that a little bit easier for the survivors, although we do catch out Mr. Feng Yang here. Worth noting as well, Dredge is tier 3, so the survivors have access to both life and balance landing, so they're going to be playing around the exhaustions to the best of their ability. We do have this part here in the bathroom. It looks like we're going to be playing a little bit of a Remnant mind game. If we're patched, we'll be able to get it, but we've heard the slow evolve happening, and we've timed that perfectly, and there will be an excellent 4K1 for Oscillator. Massive shame that V4 DC'd there, but you know, there's not really anything we can do about it. It's way too late in the trial to do anything or restart the set or anything like that, which is just unfortunate for our survivors because they were doing so well too. But we also, I was reading through the casters chat here. Both teams have caffeine tablets, so I don't know if this is like a secret tech in Asia that I'm just not aware of. I haven't seen this before. If there have been other Asia teams in OSL that have been playing the Dredge set with the caffeine tablets. Kratos, unfortunately, we did have to see a restart there. Kratos brought 2 of the same survivor, being 2 Jake Parks, so there'll be another 0.5 penalty applied to the team. So just a recap of the penalties applied this Dredge set. We have 0.5 for Dream Player. Was it Kratos or Dream Player? Kratos, one of the teams didn't ready up in time because despite being in lobby and delayed it, so they got a 0.5 penalty. Another team, so Dream Player didn't ready up in time, so they got a 0.5 penalty. Kratos Survivor, no. Kratos Survivor's DC because V4 DC due to his internet, so they got a 0.5 penalty because they didn't supply proof. Dream Player didn't ready up in time, so they got a 0.5 penalty. And now Kratos had a difficult survivor, so they had to DC restart and also got a 0.5 penalty. So now, if V4, who is on Team Kratos, gets a 4K1, it's a win for Kratos. I think that's... have I got that right? I think that's the right teams. It was a Kratos survivors. Let me check the customers live chat. I'm having a bit of a brain fart. My brain's melting a little bit. Kratos pick, so we actually got Dream Player killer here. So, Dream Player will... V4 needs to 4K1, Dream Player wins. That's it. There's no Tycon. So, Survivor team here, Kratos have to do all the gens to win. And once more, machine learning, automarian writing, caffeine tablets, machine learning should go pretty hard here. We have a very gen kick oriented build alongside Corrupt to help us out in the early game a little bit. Looks like we're doing a bit of hit and run tactics here as well, interrupting this generator that Leon was doing, but now just dropping down and finding someone else here. We have this gen that is very rare to spawn that's like in sort of reception area. You don't often get this one. It's very odd, but unfortunately the medium there, I was going to say would have resulted in a hit, but no. We actually do have live, so I think he's going to be able to get the hell out of dodge, and I think once more that generator over by the hospital area did not spawn, so we don't have that available to us, and somehow through all that debacle we have transitioned back onto Cold with BL2 on lock, so this is probably going to be a tag here if we play our cards right. We do see a ball coming out there from Cold. That was quick and quiet off rip, but now Cold is down, first down of the game. I feel like a lot just happened. I got a bit information flashbang, but Irons, the Sorcerer King, what do you think so far of the set? Are we going to see V4 match that 4K1 result and take the win?
Per chance, depends how aggressive he plays, because I feel like with the type of playstyle he has, he kind of needs to be aggressive, because he's running that gen kick and build. Like, he's got pop, you got eruption, machine learning. I'll be honest, seeing that on Dredge would give me a brain fart too, so like, I wouldn't expect that on Dredge. But as you can see, we already have Nia about to smash one of the motors out, gets a quick tag on Katie here, down at bot 6. We're starting to rotate down towards 7, but in my opinion, having that gen there spawn in bot 7, that's interesting. Like, never seen the gen spawn there before, so hence why we got that door kicked open, get some machine learning on that bot 7 gen. That's the first gen to pop. I see someone in mid, but trying to rotate, short out, unhook, just trying to go for a quick in the early timeout. TP and over, but unfortunately gets pulled to the locker that is locked up. So right now, rotating up for 3-4 side, trying to go for a quick tag, playing out for a timeout here, but I feel like V4, I feel like he's got it in him to try and get a 4K1. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like if these survivors play very how they normally would play, and unfortunately we are catching Kate out over at bot 9 now. It's very unfortunate. We are in Nightfall, so whenever there's Dredge, TPs across map in Nightfall, we will see Killer Instinct, unless the survivors are crouching. But as we can see, with the eruption, we see someone working that bot 7 gen again. He gets hit with another kick. So far, I feel like it's a hit or miss right now. Slunk, like, both teams are, they're making mistakes, they're playing alright, so it's like, right now, it's any man's game. Like, as we get the Killer Instinct down on, seems to be right at bot 6, going towards bot 7, catching out there Nancy, dropping a Revenant, trying to rotate around to catch her off guard, gets the faking, potentially gets a tag with Oh, this might be the tag here if they play it right. Oh, the finesse and the life coming in clutch, getting them out of there. But they do get the unhook, which this Dredge V4 is rotating for that unhook because he needs a tunnel at ASAP if he wants to help himself secure a 4K1. As we catch out the two survivors together. Drops down just barely, or just a little bit late on that cape for the down, but as we see, we're at bot 11 pallet right now, trying to play for the 50-50 mind games here. Oh, in a bit of a pinch here. Honestly, I just would have ran away from here, but gets it down here on K, which this is what V4 needs. Smunk, so far, what do you reckon the survivors need to do to push themselves to at least pop order gens to at least 0?
We do have a basement here, which is going to be very rough, although we kind of have delayed our tunnel out a little bit, because of course we got the first rock onto Cold, and then we had our first rock onto Leon 1, so now we haven't really, we're not too quickly tunneling anybody out, and we also have multiple gens that are really high prog, because we have that generator that's very close to basement that I heard getting worked that is also high prog, so if we're able to go back and kick that with Eruption and just kind of soft camp this area, that'd be a great boon for our Dredge player here, but V4 very interested in bouncing around. Like, we have 3 gens at the moment that are pretty high prog, so we've got to be very careful here. We're just going for the power break there. I would have maybe tried to do a little bit of a remnant game around this area, but unfortunately we're just going to be going for the tag, I think, and it looks like V4 really wants his machine learning value too. We go for the unhook here, but we are in the base, and we need to go for the one above us. A bit awkward there, trying to get out. We do get out. We have this god pallet in front of us, though. We don't get the tag onto Cold. Stun there coming through onto Cold, so now we're going to have to force to break this pallet, because we can't be leaving that one lying around, and now Leon has gone to the other side of mid, which if we try and do a bit of an overzealous teleport, we might just end up losing our own distance if we don't play our cards right. We don't see any scratch marks here in the courtyard, but we've teleported into the courtyard. I think Leon doubled back behind him, going back down the hallway where she was just hooked. So this is really unfortunate, because we've lost our tunnel out survivor here, which has put V4 in a terrible spot, although machine learning coming into play. We have Leon and Cold resetting on top of the staircase here, nice and far away from any potential Dredge TPs nearby, although we're right next to where they are. We just don't really know it. We have a kick coming through here. We're looking around. V4 just doesn't hear them on the stairs right next to him. He's still got a little bit of 8% haste, although we see that the survivors heard him kicking the gens, and they're going to be making their great escape. 3 survivors on lock. Plenty of people to be taking body blocks for Leon 1. We need to get this down ASAP. We still have about 30 seconds left of machine learning. Teleporting over to that double locker with the knife will get us out of there nice and quick, although this is a terrible pallet to be at. You don't want to be at the piano pallet. With the 8% haste, we get that down. Eruption coming through, spreading out all throughout the map, and that will be the first survivor dead at 2 gens. We still have an injury on Cold somewhere. We have an aura down by the generator next to the basement. If that's Cold, that's not good for him, because if he goes down, he's going to be down right next to the basement. But with a little bit of knife wood left on the clock, we will be able to get this TP over here. But with that god pallet gone, we have to try and play around this one, and instead we have just found, oh dear, Zone getting tagged there as he came off the gen. Pop Eruption being applied, but Eruption was still on cooldown, so no Eruption. Actually, just the pop goes the Weasel, and machine learning being reinforced onto that generator. Teleporting back up here with the last dregs of our Nightfall. We do hear some Killer Instinct of a survivor below us applying Eruption on this lower progress gen. We have a clue that someone is below us, but I think they kept running behind us over to where the nursing area is. Never mind, they're actually going to this little study area, and we see another gen popping in the background, although these last remaining gens aren't in the best of spots. Now, we're very concerned about this high prog gen that we kicked earlier by the basement. We have Cold and Zone both injured here, and I think this would be Nancy Think potentially working this generator. The calls come through for her to rotate away, but no, it's actually Cold. I believe we see blood on the floor, unless I'm just hallucinating. I can't quite tell just yet, but no, it does seem like it's going to be Nancy Think rotating away here, using their balance landing to the best of their ability, and they're going to have to really rely on their exhaustions here, because we can't really be... Oh dear! We give the free tag up to the Dredge, although no sloppy means that race is going to come through nice and quick. That's a really high prog gen there for Nancy. We need to get a 4K right about now for V1 to take the set away, but Dream Player are doing a fantastic job of keeping themselves alive here. A bit of a hesitation there from Zone does mean the Dredge will gain a little bit of distance here, thinking maybe he's going to teleport a little bit in front of him, but no, V4 not coming to the chase here, instead dropping down, going for this high prog gen next to the basement, hoping to catch someone off guard, but no, the calls come through. They were rotating off of Nancy and committing onto Cold here. Cold not having a ton of resources available to him, but I believe this pallet next to this door has not yet been kicked. Nightfall in play now, so now we have a very low cooldown on our TP, but some buggered up bolts here will result in zone going down, and now V4, he needs to commit to the teleports and play around a bit of a slug match. We see 2 killer instincts on the board, one below us, one right next to us, and we're going to be committing to the chase onto zone here. If we can get this slug nice and quick, smart, that would be a great boon for V4 here. We have thrown this power, but we need to put our remnant in a position where we were able to cut him off from the window. Do we commit to it? No, we go for a bit of a crouch here. It doesn't quite work out in our favor. That'll be a down onto zone. Now we need to try and clock in on Think. He should be going for the pickup onto Jake. We can't really afford to be greeting any gens right now. We buggered up our teleport a little bit next to the basement, but we're going to be exiting the locker here, and we still know that zone is on the floor. Nancy, however, Think just crouching around, trying not to get bound. We can't afford a 3-man slug in this position, but V4 just going for his fresh pickups, applying some pop eruption to those active generators and Ains. It's not looking too good for our survivors here. They're in a bit of a pickle, but they need to reset, recover, and get back on track to take away this set from V4.
Oh,
Oh
and
no.
unfortunately he does get caught out in the mid-map, which is not what they need right now, because V4, he needs this down ASAP if he wants to secure his team this win. As you were saying before, Smug, they're in a very difficult position. They've put themselves in a pickle. Like, the fact that Nancy got caught out in courtyard is not what this team needs. Like, oh, with the Revenant place, trying to play for the 50-50 mind games, trying to think, oh, he just barely misses it. Doesn't see that he ran back over. But right now, V4 is in a very strong position right now. Nancy gets it alive. Potentially he might be able to make it for the unhook, but I don't think she does. Oh, she barely just makes it for the unhook. But as we see, we have Cold, who's got to try and rotate, potentially play for the pick on zone. But right now, they're in a very difficult position here. Or goes for the vault. Even surprised me there with the quick and quiet value. Did not expect that. He's trying to rotate back for courtyard, potentially going for the pick. Rotates in for the pick. No, he's not. He's trying to find where zone is. They're trying to get a pick to push it to a 2v1 right now. Goes for the pick, but right now they're trying to split up. But they go down right next to the team. So they're in. Oh, nah, this is not looking too good for them, Smug. 2 full healthy, oh, not healthy, 2 survivors that haven't been hooked once down together. And V4 has come in clutch, put in this set, and taken it home for his team right now. Getting the 4k1, which is what they needed. The fact that Nancy got caught out in the mid area was not what they needed. And as for Dredge right now, this is odd. He's cheering right now, able to get the 4-1, take home that set win for them. Monk.
Yeah, it's a...
I'm gonna say he's very happy for this, isn't he?
He is. I don't know why he's dropping Cold there, but I think he was concerned about the hatch spawning. Maybe he's still gonna find Think though. Oh, he's right there. I was gonna say he's gonna find Think because there's a chance that he crawls away and bleeds out. Because I know I've lost a set. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OSL Season 6. This is the final set for this weekend's game. So the final series for this weekend's games. Dream Player versus Kratos. In case you missed it, we did see Dream Player take Kratos' pick of the Dredge by half a point. Which is quite impressive. V4 played fantastic, but now we're on to Dream Player's pick of the Slasher. A killer very close to my heart, but straight off rip, looking at the build, we have Ruin, Painrose, Corrupt, and Wretched Fate, which is super interesting. I don't hate it, to be honest. Do we get any pig shots to the boards? No, sir. We do, however, commit to Leon here. Leon playing it very safe, breaking that Shack pallet immediately. We drop into the basement. No bounce landing on him, though, so a bit less distance used. We should be able to get a little bit of a zone here, but no, we just take the pallet and then just bugger off towards our active generators with our Omnipresent Evil. In terms of add-ons, we are running Eye Goop, which gives us 13%. 13 seconds of undetectable when we reload from a hook spike after grabbing one off. Unfortunately, we weren't quite too quick on the mark there with the hook spike to get that injury onto zone. However, we still have 5% haste, and we have 5 seconds longer thanks to the orderly shoot add-on. And once again, missing our hook spike there, Anarchy. Not quite able to get that tag there, unfortunately, but pre-throwing that, just going to be reloading an Omnipresent Evil. Ruin gone in the background there, breaking that power with Omnipresent Evil, get a bit of instinct and an idea of where zone is going, and he's making his merry little way over to the shack. Bring up the spike, but not really committing to the throw here as zone loose back around through the 4 lane. He might be able to make the window here, but Anarchy is holding his power, playing very patient with it. We go for the medium, we're just able to make it, and we might even just leave the chase here. There, Cold and Think also doubling a generator, likely within this main building 3 gen. It should be the 1 generator, which I think we are interrupting just now. However, it pops right in front of our faces, but we have 2 survivors here. Can we get a collateral? We can get a collateral! That's a beautiful bang for your buck. 1 spike for 2 injuries. You love to see it, don't you, Irons?
Oh, indeed we do, Smunk. This is what he needs, and he gets a beautiful snipe over on Nancy. Not sure what you're doing there, Fink, but getting that collate is what he needed. And like, as we see, it seems that he has like a loose 4 gen top, but we did pop that 1 side gen, so I'd say, essentially, it's looking like it's a 3 gen top still, but yeah, losing that Ruin, very unfortunate, so he's just relied on 2 perks, but with where his Wretched Fate is, oh, it's a bit of a tough position. If survivors catch that out, that's very unlucky and you will be losing that Wretched Fate. But oh, Smunk, that beautiful collat is what we like to see here. But going for the TP, which, oh, I'm not sure what we're doing there. It's a bit of a slow, especially with how they made it so it's very slow when he TPs to someone on the hook. But it seems that we're trying to just play around. Seems that we catch someone out, throws the cracker, just misses it, looking up so he does not get blinded. But are we going for the spike throw here? Seems like we are paying his patience just for the M1 hit. But gets a beautiful spike hit on, oh, I'm not going to try and pronounce your name, that's not going to be good for me to try, but we're going for the unhook, and as we can see, we have Nia working the totem, which, as I was just saying before, Smunk, once those survivors find that totem, he just relied to one perk, which has pain res, which, oh, and honestly, once you get them 4 pain res hooks, you're just playing on pure instinct, and goddamn, just playing with your spikes and add-ons, which honestly,
Yeah.
you're just playing, just play for yourself, man. You don't need perks. If you can win this with no perks, very impressive. Gets a beautiful snipe and the pin against the wall on Fink. Very unfortunate for Fink right there, and he is the second stage hook of the game, and he will be getting a pain res hook. And as we see, we have Shaq popping, but no, he's not hooking on the pain res. He's trying to take the pain res over the 9 side, pushing up just to try and catch survivors out. If they're working that 9 side gen, which we do have prog on it, but we use that pain res hook, but it wasn't on 9, so we must have another gen, at least at probably like main 5 or something, just with high prog. As we see, we've gone for the reset 5 side, and it's like, right now, I say this killer's in like a decent position, like if he can catch up where the heal is, but that's over at 7 side, and he's complete cross map from the heal, so he won't, unfortunately, he won't make the heal. But as we see, Neil was like stealthing corner edge map, but right now he needs to play for the tunnel at least 3 gens, or just play for a confirmed kill here. But Smunk, right now, how do you think he's going?
This is a really good position for Anarchy to be in. Despite losing 2 gens fairly early on, our pain res hit the 11 generator that Nia was stealthing by edge map, and then we've hooked on top of the other active generator, and now we're just free to camp this. We know that, that Cold and Leon were resetting over in a different area of the map, so they weren't really doing anything to progress the game during this whole debacle. It does look like they're attempting a double save here, though. Oh no, we've hit Nancy on the hook. We haven't even punished the double save at all, but we will be just hitting us straight off the hook there, eating through that BT and just sending Leon packing as well there. And yes, we are down to just our pain res, but we also have Think on the ropes here. We only have 2 survivors who could possibly take a hit. Cold might be able to get in position for a potential beamer save, but with that pre-throw coming through, this is not a tile you want to be playing adjacent at, as it is only hip height. If we're able to get it through the gap, when that we do, shish kebab and spaghetti night, ladies and gentlemen, as we get that mini Mori there onto Nancy, removing the guts from her, and that will be the first survivor out the trial of 3 generators, although zones gen all the way over 11 is more than 75% completed, and unfortunately we are just pain res Andy here, and I dare say Anarchy is very in tune with the fact that this gen at 11 will be popping very soon, so he's able to come out of Omnipresent Evil and interrupt it, although he hasn't got a whiff or a smell of Nia at all, and she's over by main building, hiding behind these tank treads, trying to keep out of sight, out of mind, nice and quiet as a church mouse, but Anarchy, he has some pretty good generators here. Jason's a very mobile killer, so our Omnipresent Evil, fairly low cooldown. We can bounce around the generators to our heart's content, and even if we do overcommit a chase, we can go to Omni and come right back, quick, smart, any way you want. But it does look like we're just going to be checking that generator over here, just in case anyone was working it, although the reset comes through onto Leon from zone. From Cold. Zone likely back on 11 at some stage there. We don't see any progress, I don't think, although we do find Nia here just being very patiently. Nice little flick there, getting the puncture onto Zone. A little hook here to reload. We pre-throw that power there out the car. Do we go wide? No, we hop into the locker to dodge the skewer, but unfortunately, I think that will be our demise. We should have maybe just ducked down to the left, as that's going to be a down right in the middle of our generators, and I think, if my memory serves me correctly, we have a cheeky little pain res at top 12 behind main. That we do. That's quite a nice hook there for Anarchy to be taking right next to the active there at 11. I dare say that pain res will absolutely be hitting it, although I didn't see an explosion, so maybe it didn't hit 11. No, it did hit 11. It hit 11, and we see Cold already just traversing through main building there, but Leon working a different generator there. We're just coming out of Omnipresent Evil right in behind, right in front of the main building, interrupting Leon's gen, and we should be able to get a skewer here if we're patient with it. Do we go wide? We do go wide, but not quite enough there. We dodge the hook there from Leon. Unhook coming through onto Zone. We have a bit of undetectable here from the iGoop and Zone. Oh dear, he's been caught out the 4 lane. He's still got about 5 seconds of BT left, but he does go. Oh, he plays it very patient, fakes the ball on the pallet, continues up map. He needs to die as far away from these active gens as possible to buy his team the best chance possible for survival. They're very patient with the skill, but unfortunately a little bit too patient there as we do unfortunately dodge it. But the M1 comes through as we've eaten that hook there, and Zone will be going on to the second stage. We should actually be able to pop a generator here with the amount of time that we have bought for our team if Cold and Leon are doubling a generator, although it does seem that Cold is just soloing 11 there. Leon was working a different generator, but I think Cold should be able to pop this Gen Irons.
Yeah, I feel like he could. He just has to commit it, but it seems that... Oh, he might be able to. It seems that the Gen on 9 hasn't been able to pop, which we get to unhook instantly, making it so that our Death Hook Neo needs to go straight away from the Gens. As you see, we have that 11 Gen pop, but right now Neo needs to go to pure bot just to play away from that Gen, because as we saw before, 9 Gen was, it was at least like 90% prog. Especially with the kick now, it could be requested, but it seems we're trying to go for attack here with the spike, and beautiful, as you were saying, Smunk. Beautiful snipe. That's what we like to see from Jason. I bet this is making you happy with the hits he is getting here. Oh, so far, he is playing absolutely phenomenal. But as seen, and we pop the 9 Gen just right in his face. Cole does get hit with the omnipresence, but in the end, he is going to get tagged here. But we are taking, beautiful snipe, what we like to see here. Does have the hook still in him, playing Wild Broken, trying to play back a main. Beautiful dodge, playing, right now, trying to go for the snipe instead, but it seems that we are not trying to take chase on him because he is injured. It seems we want to find the other full healthy survivor to put them in both injured status, and it seems we have found him over at 4 side, trying to rotate the mid now, on pure bot side. Right now, Smung, I say our killer, Slasher, is in a pretty strong position. What do you reckon?
He's in a very good position, but he has 2 generators that are very high progress. So if this chase goes on for too long, we could see Kratos pop all the generators. Ideally, Anaki here is playing for a 4K1 with that injury onto Lian. He's going to be taking another hook spike from the scrap pile and trying to locate Cold. He's playing this very carefully. Very good decisions he's making right now. He's trying to see if he can sniff out any possible footsteps here. He goes to the power break up top, trying to find if he can sniff out Cold anywhere. But Cold is by main building. He avoids the jump scare, although he has balance landing as a backer. We've located him though with the scratches and the blood. If we're able to get that that injury on the window, that would be great. But no, we're just going to go back into Omni there. We know Leon is working this generator over here, and Anaki's back on it. He's locked in. He knows that Leon's going to be really working this generator and committing hard to it. But Leon is our urban evasion user, so it's going to be very hard to find him with the jump scare mechanic here. We need to keep our ears and eyes open for any blood or scratches. But no, we're just going to be dragging that generator as Leon creeps around edge map. But just going back into Omnipresent Evil, and this is what Kratos need to be doing here. We need to be making Anaki nervous and just keeping him on his toes here with the final 3 generators. But these final 3 generators, their progress ain't looking too hot. They're pretty low here, and both their survivors are injured and not really in a position where they can afford to cross map and meet each other in the middle and get a reset off. We kind of just have to hard stealth it out. But the bad news about that is that Anaki is just going to be able to hear them injured even if he doesn't detect them with the jump scare. Striking in this part, if he listens real hard, he might be able to find Cold injured around the main building. We know that he's by top gen just stealthing there, but no, it looks like he's actually moved on and is resetting with Leon over by 1. They realize that he can't really, they can't really play around these 3 generators against Jason without being nice and healthy to make that stuff just a little bit easier. You don't want to be leaving trails of blood everywhere. We see the reset coming through on Leon, and Anaki is very concerned about that. He doesn't want these guys to be healthy, but unfortunately, he's not quite able to locate the reset in time. We know it's at 1. He doesn't, obviously, unless he's cheating, although he is heading over to 1 now, so there is a chance he just hears the bees just the end of the reset, and we do find both the survivors here, both Leon and Cold. Unfortunately, missing that hook spike there on the revolt. Leon is going to be able to make a great getaway, but we've transitioned back onto Cold, who's in a much worse position. We're going to be doing a little bit of zoning with our spike, but very good patience from Cold, jigging it around a little bit and not letting himself get skilled at all, teleporting top main just to try and see if we can catch Cold off guard. We drop down, and this should be a very nice drop shot, but excellent patience there from Anaki. We should be able to get that M1 tag. I think it would have been even better to go for the spike there and get the Coroner's Coffee value and move Cold away from the main building. But once more, injuring Cold, rotating back up map there, try to find Leon. We do find Leon here, creeping around the edge map. We force him on towards the edge here, but ideally we just need to commit to a kill on someone. Leon is likely a perfect target, as we know that Jake has access to the main building. Not playing it risky here, we're just going for the M1. Nice and safe there. We should be able to pull up our power here and potentially get it down onto Leon in the main building, but he's playing around Oh, the shack perfectly, but that's a generator, my friend. You can't damage those with spikes, and that one's also already completed. But it looks like we're just going to be committed to the M1 chase here, although we don't have our haste from Omnipresent Evil as it has expired, so we need to re-enter it, grab a spike, come back out, get our haste back so we're nice and 115. But we go for a revolt there, a good little duck and weave out the way. But now we spent too much time on the chase on Leon here. We know that Cold is cranking away on the top 12 gen with Bounce Landing. It's about just over the halfway mark. He's also got both Deja Vu and Resilience, so that's a nice little generator progression buff. And just with the kick there of the power, we might be able to get the jump scare, and that we do. We find Cold caught out in the middle of nowhere, but he has Bounce Landing, so he's got a good bit of distance, although he's looking the wrong way. Oh no! And Cold might even be going down here, although we just got to break this wall because it's giving us a little bit too many problems here. But this top area is broken. If we play it carefully, Anarchy might be able to catch Cold off guard, but we're being a little bit too indecisive now. We just got to pick someone and commit to them and down that we can't be playing this back and forth too much, or else one of these gens are going to pop irons.
Yeah, very well said here, Slonk. He's like, as he's shown, he's being a bit indecisive. He's not trying to commit chase on one of them because you got to think they're both injured. But as we see, Cold is back on that main gen, pumping away with Resi and Deja, getting the value he needs to try and pop that gen. Catches him out, comes out of main on the perfect side, goes for the snipe, barely misses. Beautiful dodge by Cold here, trying to play for his life here. This chase needs to last a very long time. So they say, oh, swing and a miss. Very unfortunate. Just misses the swing on him. Right now, Cold needs to play for this chase, at least so his teammate, Leon, can get the jump up. But as we see, Anarch is being a bit indecisive here. Can't choose on where he wants to go for on the chase. But we do catch him out. This might be the down he needs.
Oh.
Misses. Oh, very unfortunate miss from the spike. These survivors are they're trying to play for that love. M gets it down. This is what he needs. He needs the pain res hook right now. But instead, he's trying to play for the slug here. Because right now he knows that main gen is pumping away. Gets the omnipresence, and he knows where he is, man. This is what he needs and what he's looking for having to play for the 50s palette here. Potentially he might pull up the spike here. Seems like he actually, oh no, he's still here. I take my word back. Oh, can he get the snipe over? Oh, just misses the dodge. Ooh, this is looking very scary for the survivors right now here, but as you can see, we're going for the spike. Again, he wants that spike hit, that at least try and pin him against the wall, that can make him unable to move or crawl away, so he can try and find other survivor. But right now, playing for the 50-50s, just, accidentally vaults right back into him, gets a swing and downs him. But so far, he's got to get the hook on Cold, but if he can find Leon, then this is pushing it to a 4K1, which Wincom will be 4K2, but if he cannot find Leon, this is going to be a 3K1 here, and unfortunately it's like, I reckon he can find him, but it's just in omnipresence. I'm not sure if it works, if he's on the floor, if he comes out omnipresence, if he can get the killer instinct here, Smunk.
No, he can't, but he finds Leon anyway, just chilling out by the generator over here at 4. Very well played there from Anarchy. Was looking a little bit scary there, well.
Welcome back everyone to hopefully the last set of the night of Dream Player vs Kratos. We're here on the second half of Jason on CT1 with a win con of 5 gens needing to be popped so Dream Player can take the victory home. So far, it's been a very interesting set, back and forth from survivors and killers, but joining me again, Smunk, your one and only favourite killer, same with Dredge. How are you loving it that your two main killers are being played in these sets?
I'm loving it quite a good bit here. I was brought in last second for a caster tonight because we only had one available, which was yourself. That we needed a second one as a fill-in real quick, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And then I was pleasantly surprised with the sets playing tonight, as I do quite enjoy both of these killers. So it's good to see these killers being played. But taking the chase here, Oscillator being able to get a very quick M1 tag onto Juan here, and playing around the shack part here, going for a short swing through the part, expecting a throw there, but no, not quite. If we are able to get a Bloodlust one here, we should be able to get a follow-up tag, and there it is. First down, right next to the basement here. We don't have pain res, so it's in our best interest to try and just get good position hooks rather than needing to do any pain res shenanigans. We have Deadlock, Eruption, Turn Back the Clock, and Corrupt Intervention. So very interesting build here. Turn Back the Clock being a pretty decent perk. Paired with Eruption though, I'm a bit 50-50 on it. I understand the the angle, but we do see someone working a very high prog gen here. We should be able to Turn Back the Clock that one, and or slash interrupted with Eruption. We get the Turn Back the Clock there, interrupting his Arena here. We should be able to get that spike. Nice work there from Oscillator. Excellent tag into Feng Yan. And I don't really know what our add-ons we're running here. I don't know if it's the same as last time, if our spectator can have a gander. It is eye goop again and orderly shoe, so same thing as last time. 5 more seconds of our haste here, which does give us almost 115% movement speed, making us a normal movement speed killer. And the eye goop, which does mean when we reload with a hook spike, we get a little bit of undetectable. So let's say we are intentionally throwing there to get the pull on a reload and just getting a not a hook spike, I guess. We want a normal spike. I don't know why we went into Omni to reload there, because it doesn't give us the undetectable. We need to be reloading from a hook spike to get that, but Delta coming to play there as we pop 1, so this dreaded main building 3-gen will soon be dealt with. We see, a basement hook right under Oscillator's nose here, using the hook spike there to get the tag, and that's just going to be a death. Unfortunately, you got to be taking hits for your team. If you're dying basement against this killer, because if you die basement against Jason, it's just like dying, Oh, beam is safe. No, we have built-in Lightborn, it seems. Unfortunate, no angle there. That would have been insane. They were great clutch for Dream Player, but instead Oscillator will just be hooking next to this active generator here, which I much more agree with. But ideally, we use Eruption on this generator and not turn back the clock, because we want to get that regression going. But very rough there to get that 2-tap on your 1 coming out of the basement. It puts Dream Player in a very rough position here, where they are going to be rough to pop the gens. We might even need to go for a quick pull there just to get that generator in the middle cranked and gone. But Bang Yan also still injured in the background there. That's really rough. Like, he can't be dying basement against any range killers. There's a lot of killers he can't be dying basement against, but Jason's another one, right? Like, well, thankfully when you're when you have endurance, you don't move when you're hook spiked. You do just like gain the movement speed buff, which is good. But we see the FTP coming through from Ace onto our tunnel at deck 1, so it's going to be a little bit harder to kill Juan here, but turning the chase all the way over to main building there, we should be able to let this chase last for quite some time, unless we get hit from a hook spike here. But no, we're actually just dropping the chase to 1 completely and going for our FTP injured player here. Anyway, we should be able to get a pretty reasonable down here if we play our cards right, although Oscillator pulling up a little bit too late there as Ace does take the window, but we might have live that. We do live away from our Jason player here as the main building gen pops as well. These are some good gens to be getting done here, but we're not going for the... Oh, we don't go for the power throw, which is a great decision there, because we do manage to dodge the hook spike, and now this is forcing Oscillator to leave the chase. And what was looking real bad for Dream Player, it's looking a lot better for them now there with that time bought from Ace. Excellent usage of the FTP, and now that tunnel, that's going to be a lot harder unless you won. You can't be here, mate, especially with no balanced landing. But thankfully, we do have a resource over here, but we can't be removing the hook spike too early, because we do slow down a little bit while we're doing that. And with that pre-throw there, oh no, they kind of buggered it up. That's going to be a down onto Kate, and it's Spaghetti Night once more. That's a 1v3. I was just talking about how there was a great recovery there. Now we're not in a 1v3, but now we're in a very early 1v3, Irons.
Yeah, this is not looking too good for them, especially having that poor Kate dying that too early, especially as you said, no balance. And as we see, we catch out Serena here in the open, trying to work that mid-gen, trying to pump it. We see scratch marks down towards bot mid area, so hopefully it seems like Jason might go rotate down there, which as we see, yes he does. And by the looks of it, he's got a cheeky little 4-gen bot here, which this is honestly looking not too bad for him. But besides that, that bot mid-gen, that 7-gen, they're cranking the motors high prog. I'm not sure why he's throwing the hook again. Like, as he said before, like, he doesn't get that extra movement speed, as you were saying before, but bit interesting what he's trying to go for here. But as we see, he's got that 5 extra movement speed, trying to go for the swing. Beautiful dodge by Serena here, trying to rotate up towards top side. But yeah, honestly, with a 4-gen bot here, this is looking pretty devious for him. It's honestly disgusting. But for Jason, with high mobility, with omnipresence going back and forth, especially with his hooks, especially in a 3v1 with all of them being injured right now, my personal opinion, seems we've caught someone out here who's rotating up towards an 8 from 9, 8 to 9 side, sorry. What they need right now is a reset, because honestly, Jason Spike trying to... Oh, we have 2 survivors here on the top mid-gen. Don't know what we're doing here. But Serena getting caught out early here. This is not looking too good. We should be taking it down here, and we'll be getting to turn back the clock. And eruption value on 7 and the bot mid-gen. And we see over 5-side copping the eruption as well. So right now, we know where all survivors are per chance. But yeah, as we see, this seems to be the Ace here. Over down at 7 side, getting caught out, turn back the clock on 7. This is not looking too good for them, because he's gone edge map. Yeah, he is trying to go die comp corner edge map, trying to play the Z-Wars here against the Jason. This might be pretty deadly, especially with his spike if he can throw it through it. But he's just trying to play the 50-50 mind games here. Slunk, this is not looking good for the survivors. As, ooh, unlucky short miss on the swing. But as you were saying before, they were pulling it back, and then unfortunately, as soon as it came to the 3v1, they started fumbling a bit. Gets it down here. This is, ooh, Slunk, this is not looking good for the survivors right now.
I've got my right hand rubbing my temples. because we're playing super greedy for these extremely high prog gens, when really, like, we know that the killer has eruption, turn back the clock. We can slow it down. We can let those regress just a little bit in favor of getting a full reset through, because or else we get this, right, where everyone's on the floor now, eruption's coming through, we have 2 slugs right next to this active gen, and the last person's injured as well, it's Feng Yan. And we kind of just completely thrown this Jason set by not resetting, and unfortunately, Feng Yan might get caught out here. I thought we had that bug for a little bit, and we also find them stealthing around, but this is just going to be game over for Dreamplayer. We've secured a 4K3 on the side of Kratos, and we will be seeing a ghoul tiebreaker for Kratos versus Dreamplayer here. What an unfortunate misplay from the Dreamplayer survivors, just letting themselves sit injured. If they were healthy, we would have at minimum seen a tie from them with these 2 extremely high prog gens, but going for the hook spike there, that will be Feng Yan out of the game. Very impressive 4K3 from Team Kratos, and unfortunate misplays there from Dreamplayer. Just needed to slow it down, get the resets. These gens are in rough spots, and you're versing a ranged killer that it also has on-demand, undetectable, and teleportation, thanks to iGoop, giving them that 13 seconds of undetectable. And just, you can't be risking it like that, especially like stealthing edge map while injured and leaving that pools of blood. It's not the play, and while it did work out for whoever that was, I think it was Zhao Dao, for a good pit where we actually made it from that edge map Z wall to the rock filler, we did die to the hook spike before we were able to round the corner, which is a big shame, because that would have been hype otherwise if we were able to make it around that corner. But no, unfortunately now we're just playing the cleanup game where everyone goes up on their hooks, and we walk away with a big W for Kratos, taking these teams taking each other's sets here. Very unfortunate that Dreamplay weren't able to bring it back for their slasher set, especially after we did see the previous killer set. Such a fantastic comeback, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 6 of OSL. This is the final game of this week's games. Here we have the tiebreaker of Ghoul on Suffocation Pit. In case you missed it, Dreamplayer versus Kratos. We did see Dreamplayer, a bit of an upset on the Dredge set. They were able to take it by half a point, and then Kratos were able to take the slasher set away from Dreamplayer, which was their pick, with a very strong 4K3 from Oscillator. But now, Oscillator. On the Ghoul, Suffocation Pit, interesting build. We see the machine learning rearing its little head again. I think we saw him running a machine learning on the Dredge set as well, alongside Coffee and Broken Chain. So Broken Chain allows us to come out of our power a little bit faster when we're not enraged. Which can be pretty useful for, cut off Ghoul if you're not really going for those bites, but ideally you do want to go for the bites, of course, because, then you're enraged, you get an extra leap, you get the injury, etc., etc. Everyone knows how Ghoul works by this point, I'm sure. Corrupt Intervention doing God's work here. We do see Dreamplay survives as well, being a nice and stealthy, although expecting someone at the edge map. We don't find anyone here. Crows are still on all these rocks and tiles, so I can't imagine that there would be anybody nearby at this point in time. Luckily that they've started to rotate down bottom side to start cranking away these generators. Speaking of generators, we have a lot of gens up top. We have, I think, a potential 4 gen up top, because we've only got 2 down here and bottom, and then we have 2 in mid, which implies that the rest of them are all the way up top. So we have a bit of a weird 3-2-2 split here for our killer players. So Dreamplayer, though, doing a great job just stealthing. I think they might be playing the long con here, trying to wait out the Corrupt. And also is just kind of struggling to find anyone out of position. But machine learning on Ghoul is really interesting. The 8% haste that you get for a minute from machine learning is incredible, alongside, of course, the undetectable as well. You can definitely catch people off guard here, but Dreamplayer look like they're doing a quite a bit of a stealth here. At the top side of the map, but no, we do find some scratch marks lingering around the map at this tile. Unfortunately, not quite able to get the bite onto Huaxin, as we do continue to chase around this God Rock filler, but we're just taking the power break there, losing one of our tokens in the process, but we get it back nice and quick smart. This should be a bite onto Huaxin if we play our cards right, and there comes the first part of the trial. I dare say all of the survivors on the side of Dreamplay should start cranking motors right at this moment as the trace gets taken down to the shack side of the map here, but our tokens should be back at any point now, and we're going to be able to use this to our advantage around this tile ideally. But Irons, thoughts on the Ghoul and how the survivors are going to be able to handle this set?
Yeah, right now they've been playing very well, stuffing out the full lot of Corrupt, which, like, honestly, they're going to play more progressives and, very unfortunate, just barely missing a swing, getting hit by the pallet. Oh, do we get the body block here? We do get the body block here, and we do get that down here on the ace. Beautiful body block by Oscillator. But these survivors, stuffing out Corrupt, they did that phenomenal God's work here, preventing and tag with the whole of Corrupt gone. But we do get the unhook the hook now, getting that pain res. We do got the turn back the clock now. Like as you were saying before, machine learning again. On Ghoul, I feel like, in my personal opinion, it's a bit weird. We do have pain res hitting that free side gen, but yeah, this gen split like a 3-2, 3-2-2 split. It's a bit of a interesting setup, but we do come back down. We are going for the tag here on on the ace again, taking their rage form, which honestly I feel like it's a little bit of hit or miss. Just want to get their rage form, keep it up going, but not going for the. Oh, all right, we're not going for the tunnel out here. We're using turn back the clock down here on 5 side, but we do see him mending inside shack, drop shack. But I don't know why we're just sitting there trying to mend. We could have potentially ran somewhere a bit more safer or quieter, but and as we see, he's launching himself over, gets the body block again, 2 in a row, Smunk, for the body blocks. Oscillator is on fire already with the double down on the same person, but we do get our first gen pop, which that seems to be over at like 10 side, but potentially, are we going to go for a basement hook? No, we're going to go hook here at bot 6, but so fast, Monk. Oscillator is killing it, getting these body blocks while swinging across the map like he's Spider-Man. And we see another gem pop, getting the machine learning on it. The gem pop over at Freeside for right now. Ooh, catching out the Serena, getting the pallet stun. But he does not care about the pallet, he just wants his tag. Ooh, just barely misses it, unfortunate. Does he get the tag here? Unfortunate, again, he just misses it. And we see the unhook happening right in front of his face. And he's going to go for the tunnel at our 3 gens. If he can get this down quick, this is what he needs right now. But as we see, we have 2 survivors down here at bot side. Potentially Lara is going to be working. I'm going to hopefully at top side try and push it to 2 gens remaining. But Smunk, with how he's getting these body blocks, how do you reckon he's playing so far?
Yeah, the cutoffs are kind of crazy from Oscillator. He's using Ghoul's power fantastically here. Struggled just a little bit on catching up to Huoxen. We've just run out of our own rage, so now we're back down to our default state. But while we were able to get our ace player all the way up to main building here, which is great to see. We can start working on those bottom side generators. Very curious that Oscillator wasn't really too worried about the cluster of generators to defend. But oh my goodness, we just jiggied away all the way over to main. This is going to buy his team a ton of time here, and this tunnel now is going to come through nice and quick. But machine learning is lurking in the background on that generator that was high progress. And as speak of the devil, and he shall appear. We do have an active now 8% haste for the next minute. Huoxen's got to start hauling ass if he wants to make it out of dodge, but no, we do make it to this little tile here, but with the undetectable, it's going to be really hard to read where he is with no red stain. We also have that 8% haste, and we do have a body block here coming through actually from Yuan here. We see someone missing a skill check at the background there, which is really unfortunate, but this chase is taking just a little bit too long onto Huoxen, especially considering we have machine learning. Oh dear, we were a little bit distracted by the high pog gen over by 1, but we should be able to get this down through the power. That haste coming in clutch, which is great to see. We get that hook coming through, and this will be a death, but we pop 11, and now we're down to the last 3 gens. We nearly had a power save there from our Lara player, but not quite there, just in time. A bit out of whack, but no, we do get that kill finally. But that tunnel out, it took a little bit too long. These gens are super split for our Ghoul player, and while we do have a few desperate seconds in machine learning, I feel like it didn't really help Oscillator too much in that instant scenario, but we should be able to get the bite here onto our Zarina player, but we drop into the basement, and Oscillator, he's a bit bamboozled there. We didn't quite get the bite, and we're just gonna have to drop that chase onto Fengyan and try and find someone else a bit more appetizing, maybe Yuan, who should be up top somewhere here working the main building generator. I don't think we kicked the main building pallet either, so still quite a few resources to work with on this top side of the map. The gens are very split. We don't have Eruption as well, so we're going to be relying solely on Pain Res and Turn Back the Clock, but both of these slowdowns require us to get downs, or else we're just going to be dry kick Andy. But unfortunately, these 2 dash not quite coming in for a down onto our caper here. We kind of got to get rid of that main building pallet Oscillator. We can't leave it up for too long, but thankfully we do get that M1 down onto Yuan without needing to get any enrage because this will also be a pain res. A very nice pain res on that hill, by the way, if we're able to get that, but no, we're just going to be hooking more into the mid-map here. And Dream Player back into 1v3. Let's see if they can do a little bit better than what we saw on the Slasher set, which they already have because we're down 1 generator and have a much wider split of gens. But with pain res coming through and Turn Back the Clock on the board, we're going to play it super duper safe here. But both our alive survivors here on the side of Dream Player playing it super safe, splitting up, pre-stealthing, don't want to give away any extra tags. We see a crow landing there. It's given our killer player Oscillator here a bit of indicator of where our survivor might have gone, and I think we just heard them on the hunt for Zarina, but Fengyan is doing a fantastic job stealthing here, although we catch a whiff of the scratches on the floor. All 3 of these gens, by the way, have like bugger all progress, and oh dear, we buggered up the bot onto Fengyan. We've grabbed the wall instead, and we've just been so long without getting an enrage, which is such a shame. Do we get the fast spot there? We do get the fast spot for Fengyan. This should give them a good bit of distance. We revolt there. We should be able to get the bite mark here just in time. Wonderful bite onto Fengyan there. For Oscillator, Yuan injured now. I think we're just going to be taking that bite, and now we need to play the game of keep people injured and try and get them off the generators. We can't really commit to too long of a chase, so we need to try and just do a little bit of hitting and running, getting some bites going, and then trying to commit to an injured survivor when we catch them out of position, maybe, Irons.
Yeah, what he needs, as you said, is just to keep everyone injured, like, and try and keep his power at least, because like, instead of having the two dashes, you want them three dashes while in rage. It's like those three dashes, as Oscillator has been shown us, like he is scary, and he catches out the survivor, healing at the back of main, catches out the Kate, potentially trying to play the 50-50 mind games, goes for the fake, trying to get him to drop the pallet, but will he drop it? No, he is playing this mind games, playing very greedy here, Kate, playing very smart, just trying to at least not drop it and place. Oh, right now he's unfortunately, I don't know why he's greedy and running around away from the pallet, but we are going for the slug here because we have hooked that Kate at least once. He knows these gens are propped and they are more, oh, these gens are just absolute. I think they're working at least is what I would hope so, but it seems yeah, the gen down at 7 side is cranking the motors, but not a lot. Honestly, they don't have a lot of prop, but as we see right now, potentially they're going to heal, and we just lost our enrage form, which oh, it's going to be a bit of annoying, but we do get the pick on Kate already, and we are getting a notification that Stone is on pop side, which I don't know whereabouts at top side because he was picking the gen. But right now, like, he's in a, I say he's in a 50-50 position. Like, yeah, you got two injured, but you only got one hook stage, and the other two are fresh. Like, what you need is to at least try and get another tunnel out or try and get a fresh catch Son out. And we do catch out Son over here on the back of main and seems to be an injured survivor potentially. But no, we are not trying to go for them. We're trying to play around. No, we are just leaving them. We catch Son out over at 2 side, rotating down to 3 side. And it is the Kate who is injured. And the person that is hooked at first, if we can get him out of the game and push it to a 2v1, this is what they need, Smunk. To at least try and push it to a 4k1. But, ooh, goes for a swing and just barely misses it. Trying to play for the. Oh no, we have the window here, not the color. But he knows this chase is going on for too long. Eventually, the Serena or the Lara is down at bot sub 7 trying to work that gen. And seems, yeah, we have a bit of prog on it. So Son is stuffing around with no blood. Yeah, there it is. There's Lara trying to stealth around the rock. Unfortunately, gets tagged and gets called out. We are going for the swing. Do we get the tag? No. Just misses the tag, trying to go for the launch and gets the tag and gets the enrage. So this is looking, it's looking a bit solid for them right now. So it's a bit of a hit or miss, but Oscillator, he's trying to work his way around and keeping everyone injured. But right now, he needs a quick down and a quick chase here. Like, yeah, he's got Kate injured and everyone else injured, but he has Kate on the first hook. Honestly, if he can get Kate on hook again and play her for death and push it to a 2v1, this is what they need, but oh, just barely misses trying to go for around him and body block him. Goes for the swing, the slow vault of the sentry, getting him, but he knows he needs to leave because this main gen is working on proc. Uses all three swings, and they food pop their gen Smug. This is what they needed. Yeah, he does. Actually, I don't know if he got machine learning.
He
we
doesn't.
Don't see any. Yeah, end game, no machine learning. This is not good for him, Smug.
No, machine learning. Oh, he's on top of the rock. Machine learning only would activates in the end game now if you do if they do the generator that was kicked. So because he had kicked the one over by the shack a while ago, he doesn't actually get the machine learning from them completing the main building generator. So unfortunately, despite we hearing it activate in the background there, we don't get it. And I think they're just kind of leaving Fungyong for dead there, just accepting the fact that they're gonna go down. But Yuan is staying in the trial. We get them out of the gate, and now Fungyong going down. That is going to be 7 stages, 3 fresh result for our Ghoul player Oscillator. Dream player doing fantastic work there in the 3v1, making up for the Jason set in spades, because it wasn't good on the Jason set, but this was much better for the Ghoul set. Great teamwork there, excellent chases.
Welcome back to the last set of the series with Ghoul on Suffocation Pit 1, with the win con as 8 stage 4 fresh. Right now, very interesting build I see first off in the game with All Shaken Thunder. Okay, this has caught me off by surprise. All Shaken Thunder on Software 1 is good. That's a... Okay, that's... Yeah, caught me off guard. Bit of a different build here. But yeah, as I was saying, 8 stage 4 fresh is the win con. And if they get that, yep, there's your win con. Joining me is Smunk again. Now Smunk, All Shaken Thunder on Ghoul on Software 1. What is your opinion on it?
It's brought a little bit of a smile to my face because I think this perk's funny as fuck. I love this perk so much. Back in season 5, in the final Wicked Groups on Gotcham, I ran this perk on Dredge in our final game, and I think it was like a 4k4 or something. And it's just a funny perk, but we're also checking lockers, which is psychotic, because I think there was someone in the locker literally right next to the one he just checked. That's insane. Holy shit. Okay, I would have shit my pants if I was cold, but he survived, so lucky him, I guess. Unfortunate for V4, he's going to watch that VOD back, and he's going to be pissed. But heading back down to the bottom side, where we've got a disgusting 4, 5 gen bottom. Okay. You kind of got an 8-stage setup on a silver platter here for V4. Washington Thunder, interesting perk there. For those of you that don't know what it does, we get about I think 75% now. Yeah, 75% longer lunge there for 25 seconds after falling from a great height there. And the cooldown's only 5 seconds. There's a universal audio cue for it, which sounds like, a big boom thunder, if you will. So it's a very niche perk, but I like it. It's very interesting on Duel because you can proc it pretty reliably in Suffocation Pit off of like the main building, which is where we're going now actually. That little staircase that we're just, I think V4's looking to activate it here on the drop down. There's the noise there. So now we've got next 25 seconds. We do have a longer lunge, which is good because, we need it down with that M1. But unfortunately, Zone has gotten the stun there onto V4, which will be breaking that part immediately there and continuing the chase over here, over by, I think this is 1, and then just going for trying to bait out the power throw, going for the extendo lunge, but no, getting stunned in the process there, unfortunately for V4, going for a follow-up tag there with our leaps, but the cut off the prompt steal, oh my goodness, the down of the zone coming through at top 12 here. It's at about very aggressive for a 5 gen at the bottom, but it is next to a Painter as a top, so it's not all doom and gloom, although we have seen another generator there pop in the background there. And on the survivor roster as well is Pepsi. I don't think I've seen Pepsi play tonight. Pepsi's a very good survivor, but so I'm keen to see how he goes in chase, but no all-shaking thunder value just yet. Outside of that, we have the blooded handkerchief, which increases our grab range onto the environment by 1 meter, just makes it a bit easier to grab around. And unfortunately, we do get the tag there onto Pepsi, but Mark coming through, rotate back over to Shag. V4 playing very aggressive here. No room though for the passive regen, so we're gonna have to bite, float around a little bit and go for some eruption progs. But Loz look like Cold is now getting in position to go for a pull there onto Pepsi, onto Zone. But I think the call came from Pepsi that he was going back up top map, but unfortunately, he's actually just come back down to go for another bite onto Think. Cold should be getting the unhook now any moment onto Zone while we transition onto a chase onto Think here, and it's just really bad for the survivors on the side of Kratos, but the pull coming through onto Zone. If we're able to get this down onto Think nice and quick smart, that'd be a great boon for V4 here, because then we can get a hook within our 5 gen, but Think doing the correct thing and just playing the tile perfectly there. But unfortunately, we do get that vault. We nearly got the cutoff there, but we hesitated for a split second, and Think's ran into a box and he's died in the middle of the 5 gens. This is not good for Kratos here. It's not at all.
Nah, it's not looking too good. As you were saying, 5 gen bot and getting hooked right in the middle of the 5 gen. That is crucial for them. Like, that 5 gen bot, disgusting. Like, I'm hoping V4 is cheering for the type of RNG he just got, especially getting that hook in there as well. Like, he should be happy with what he's got. Like, he's got that pallet down. I was hoping he would actually trade that. Just make his life a whole lot easier. Like, as we see, we got survivors working at 12 gen. Since they might be 2-stacking it, yes, they did pop that gen. Potentially they could have been 2-stacking, and we get the tag, but we don't get the injure. We do get the enrage from, and yes, we were 2-stacking that with an injured Nia. Not sure what we're doing, 2-stacking with someone who's injured. Oh, we got a 5 gen bot. Like, we do get the unhook, and instead we are going for the injured Nia. It was on the back of 12. Pre-drops the pallet, just trying to play for herself. Ooh, pre-leaves at like a sentry, but are we going to get the All-Shaking Thunder? Yes, we are. Trying to go for the value of All-Shaking Thunder. Do we get the tag here? No, we don't. We do drop the pallet in the process of that. Now we are having to play for the 50s here. Will we get All-Shaking Thunder value? We are going to greet that.
Yes.
Nia, you might be going down here. Oh, that's a hard in play right here, Smug. This is what he needs.
Absolutely, we don't get the all-shaking thunder value though, but we do have a little bit of seconds left, and it comes through there. We get the value, big value from all-shaking thunder, going for those stendo lunges and down onto Zone, putting him onto the death hook here. I do believe that we've already used the painters onto Zone. Think, however, still having a painters on the board if we're able to interrupt that generator that he is working now. Keep in mind, V4 not really needing to play for a 4K. He is playing for 8 stages, but we do have 2 generators that are a bit over the halfway mark down on the bottom side, and despite having a very tight 5 gen, it's now a bit more split with 2 on the left, 2 on the right, which makes it a lot easier for Kratos to play around these generators. And we know that Think is working this generator here. We heard them working in the background, but vaulting over the matchstick tile there will be Think taking another vault there. Unfortunately, this is our live play, so we're going to actually buy a ton of distance over down to the shack. Well, I do believe we haven't used the shack player just yet, but choosing to opt around to play around this box. I was going to say playing around the box, but no, we're actually rotating away and you're going to be interrupting Pepsi's gen. But Pepsi doing a great job here pre-stealthing, and although we do get found around the back of the map, but we are sprint burst, so we're able to make a good bit of distance there and avoid the M1 tag there from V4. However, this will be a very free bite onto Pepsi there, resetting our enraged meter. And ideally, if you're V4, you want to try and find Zone, but I think Zone is not going to be found. We're going to hide him away nice and safe, and even though Think might even be a better chase, because we could get our Pain Rose token on him as well as put him over down to Death Hook and give us a couple of options in terms of who to chase, because that means only Cold and Pepsi would be able to really aggressively take that chase as to keep 4 people alive in the trial here. But V4 trying to play around the tiles with the best visibility. He's just faking his M2 constantly because, of course, we don't want to get the vault over the pallet in any perceivable way. But thinks that they were working earlier gets popped by probably Cold, I would have to assume. So now we do see Cold transitioning over there from the shack, going for the pallet down here. But unfortunately, V4 being a little bit indecisive with his chase, he's not really able to commit to anyone. He's being very flip-floppy with his chases, and he needs to commit to somewhere that would be Think or Cold or whoever it might be. We do get the enrage onto Cold, so if we're able to get it really quick down here, that would be great. But I think Cold is just going to be playing around the shack to the best of his ability, and just we're leaving once more, going back over to this high prog gen. We see someone vaulting the pallet there. I think that is Think. If I'm not, I think it's Think. It is Think. But we get the grab over the pallet, but it doesn't really do much for us other than get us onto Think just a little bit faster. He does still have this very strong resource. We might just need to break this one, V4. I don't know about trying to play around it. Unless we want to do a bit of a pallet fake, we go for it. We fake it again. We're playing the staring mining games. We get that bolt. We can't get the revolt tech off in time, but I do believe the pallet has spawned on the side that Think is on, and that it is. Don't tell me we're trying to play around the shack pallet. Don't be playing silly buggers with me right now. But no, we rotate back over to this very high prog gen, and V4 once again being very indecisive. You gotta kill someone, man. You can't keep dropping chases because you're not getting anything done, and you're kind of just giving Kratos all the time to work the gens. That would have been a great cutoff. His Cold was a little bit close, but unfortunately, no, we are a little bit overzealous with it, and we drop that pallet once more. There were so many pallets on the map that have been dropped but not broken by V4, and it's just biting him in the ass. And down to 1 gen now. This gen is super high prog. It's gone from looking pretty damn good for V4 here to pretty damn bad.
Yeah, no, as you're saying, like, he's being very decisive, and he's not committing on anyone. Like, yeah, he's getting tagged, but they're just going up and healing. And he's not committing on anyone. Like, he's only got 2 inches now, and he's lost out his tunnel out, which, honestly, in my opinion, that's what he needed. It's like, you look at it. This is exactly where he was when he got the first tag on Pepsi. But as you see, he's just leaving him again, which is just being very indecisive because he needs to at least take a chase on someone because his win con is 8th stage. As we see, we still have Fink over here at Shack playing around. We break Shack pallet. We got Fink rotating up to bot mid, trying to go to mid side. As we see, getting a bit lost here, losing himself, playing the mind games on himself. Back to working that 5 gen, catches out our tunnel out, which this is who he needs out of the game. But with how he's been playing, honestly, even if it goes for the tunnel out, they're going to smash out and pump out that 5 gen, which ended up working the mid gen as well. We are back down to trying to push out that 5 gen again. We have called out Pepsi, which this is your fresh hook survivor. It's who you want as well. But right now, he needs to commit on someone. If he keeps being indecisive, he's just going to be playing for the kick game, and he's going to be losing all that prog on the gens. Like you can see, 5, 7, and bot mid, they're all very high prog right now. So, in all honesty, I don't want to be picking favourites here, but it seems that V4 potentially might be losing this set with how they've been playing. Beautiful cut off on Cold here, getting it down right now. He needs to go for the snowball here. He catches out the tunnel out, but he's not going for the tunnel out here, which is a very interesting play. Like, he needs to get the hook down here at bot mid, but he needs a pain rose hook, which, yeah, he's gone for that pain rose hook right here, Smunk. Because if you're looking at, like, that 5 gen is at 3/4 of the way, that 7 gen's at 3/4 of the way as well. They have 2 gens 3/4 of the way, and he catches out Fink over here, and he might get it down here on Fink right now, which is what he needs. Gets it down, they get the inside hook, but right now he needs to go for a snowball here, because right now he's got to think about it. He knows that Nia has got DH as before, and we do get that. Oh, we go for Pepsi, but he just misses and slides away from getting to the window. Monk here, he's in a bit of a tricky situation, but honestly, what do you think he needs to do to put himself in a stronger position?
He can't actually go for zone here. He can't commit to a tunnel. He needs to play for freshes. So ideally, he goes for Pepsi. Keep him on. He's playing around 8 stages, right? Or 7-4. If we look at this on the board right now, we have a hook into Cold, a hook into Think, and a hook into Zone. Zone's going to go back down on the floor because, of course, no Wigglyf, right? But, Think's going to go back on the floor. My apologies to trigger that eruption across the board. But at the moment, we got 4 stages, 3 fresh. If we down Pepsi, that'll be 4 fresh, 5 hooks. And then we camp Pepsi to death, that'll be 7. 7-4. So all we really need to do is just hook and camp Pepsi to death. But as I've been going through all these hypotheticals, Kratos have kind of just fallen on their sword a little bit and just gone down in the middle of the map here. Now, we still have a couple people still up on the board, but V4 needs to kick this gen. It's such high prog, we can't really afford it popping. We need to go for... Obviously, we can't afford it popping, actually, because we're playing round stages, right? And we know Pepsi is lurking around this Z wall here. We have our All Shaking Thunder to help us out a little bit with this chase, but ideally we don't get a little bit too overzealous. We see the pickups coming through. We're jumping the locker as well, going for the pull on Pepsi, and this is actually in V4's favor here, because now all we need to do is get 2 more hooks. Doesn't matter on who. We can camp Pepsi if we want. It's right next to, we have the painters right next to the painters, but that being said, it's just been done. So, it's quite tight right now. Irons right. We can just camp Pepsi right now and take the W. I don't know if V4 knows that or not, but he is just going to be looking around, seeing if he can find anyone injured. Cole did have adrenaline, so he is going to be healthy, but I think you just got to camp Pepsi. You can't let that door at bottom go. And that other door is so far away that if they do come for like a triple save, you can get enough bites and injuries going to where they can't really make it unless you make a mistake. But V4 playing very aggressively. Oh, he's leaving Pepsi. I don't like this. It's making my toes cold. It's freaking me out a little bit. But he needs to play very defensively around Pepsi and the door as well. We can't let them stop the door or get the unhook at the Pepsi. If we can force Pepsi's second stage, that's excellent, because once Pepsi's second stage, all we need to do is get a hook onto Think or Cold, and we get those 8 stages. But, like, if people are so far away from the hook, you just stand in front of him, man. Just lick him if you need to. I don't care. You just need to admire his beautiful fit. You know, like, just look at him or something. Just stop freaking me out. But, V4 playing around, resetting his All Shaking Thunder off the hill, and now he's just doing what I said he should do and just camping Pepsi to death. He's realized that, okay, 7-4, that's a big fat W for Dream Play. We've opened the door on the other side of the map. We see Cold over by the shack here, stealthing Zone and Thinker in position to come down for a pull into Pepsi. But here's the problem, Irons. One more hook, and it's a win for Dream Player.
Yeah, as you're saying, one more hook. Like, in my opinion, they really needed to try and go for a triple step. As we catch out tag on Cold. She's run away, which he might be true tap here. But all in honesty, he doesn't really need to camp Pepsi. But it seems that we are trying to go for the 2-man save here, catching out our Nia over our bot mid in front of the logs. As you see, ooh, I don't know what's happening. Do you see? Yes, we do. This is what he needs. He needs to get this tag. He needs it. He does get the tag, but right now he just needs to commit Think. That's all he needs. But he is gone. He's gone back for the unhook, which I don't know if this is the idea. We do get the second. We have the, oh yeah, no, that's second win in play, but we do have a full healthy Nia trying to play for the safe. He needs to pick someone now, otherwise, yeah, he's in a bit of a tricky situation. You need to go for the tag here. He has second win. He needs to try and get a tag now, because second win's about 20 seconds. But is he the BL? Yeah, well, actually, he is the BL. There we go. We have the second win coming in clutch here. If they get enough body blocks, this could be a win for them. But right now, he needs a tag. This is coming down to the wire right now. V4 needs to launch in front of someone and get attacked. This Nia needs to play body blocks for the sentry right now. He needs to get in front ASAP. He does get in front, but right, his team is not at the gate trying to play and heal. As we see, we get a heal on Jake. So right now, if they get a heal on Nancy and go for a 3-man save, this is game. We do get the slap on Nia, which right now, he's still stuck in position. He's trying to play for the 50s right now. As we see, we got Cold here, coming trying to play in for a body block right now, and we are again the reset on Nancy or Minea, either one, but we got Cole here in the back. But right now he is playing down to the wire, going for the tag here on Jake. As we see, we have Pepsi running across the side. We are going for the side. We potentially might get it down here. This could be it. This is coming down to the wire, Smug.
He's playing for the endgame timer. He's playing for the endgame timer. He's only got about 20 seconds left. He needs to try and play for the endgame timer here. Nancy's going for the body block, but he's just forcing Pepsi away. We can't afford to get the down here. If he goes to the down, we lose the entire set. He's playing ultra patiently. Gets the down under Pepsi. We bugger up the body block, and now we just need to get that hook secure. No beamers or crackers to be said. We get everyone out the door, and the win goes to Dream Player 2-1. The upset of the century. Kratos losing the set by 1 stage. That is 7-4. The W will go towards